John Calipari. What's up, Coach? It's Michael, Don, and Peter.
Hey, Michael, how are you? How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
All good. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Trying to...
Tell me how good Kevin Knox could be.
Well, again, you're talking about an 18-year-old. And
right.
Who is just... You don't even know. I don't even know how good this kid could really get. I mean, I look at him right now, 6'9", 6'10", long and lanky, 7'6", wingspan, shoots the ball. We've got him to put the ball on the floor. All the stuff that he's starting to do, and you know what? It's where the league's going. It's positionless. No point guards, no big guys, length. You know, it's where the league's going right now.
Now, do you buy that? Do you buy that the league should be going that way? Because there's still some value to a guy 7'2" that could play center, don't you think?
Well, I ask you this question. How many teams are really going and trying to offensive rebound?
Not too many.
Yeah, the shot goes up. If you're standing under the basket, stay there to see if you can get the ball because you'll be standing next to somebody. And if not, forget about it. Go back. And then the second thing was, would you guys agree that Chris Paul would be one of the top 3 point guards in the league?
Yep.
He still is?
Yep.
He's not playing on the ball. He's off the ball. Harden has the ball. I mean, it's just things have changed. I mean, it's shots that would not have been taken 3 years ago are like fine. Guys that are playing, you call small ball, but everybody's 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". I mean, it's crazy. And it's changing right before your eyes. That's why whether it was Kevin Knox or Shea Alexander, when you look at Shea, a 6'6" guard, point guard, 7-foot wingspan, you could switch pick and rolls. You could play him on the ball. You could play him off the ball. It's where the whole thing is going right now.
Seems like a great kid. We had a chance to interview him, Coach. Now, you just mentioned it's a project. There's a lot that he's going to have to develop into. But you know how impatient New York can be. How do you think he will handle the trials and tribulations of trying to grow as a player with the spotlight of New York?
He will be fine. And I told Scott and Steve, I said, you know, they said, do you think he can be an all-star someday? And I said, yeah, with progress. But let me say this. I said, the people that are going to have to be patient are you guys. Because he's 18 years old. He's not 23. He's 18. But you're going to see glimpses and things, and you're going to watch and all the stuff as his body matures, where he can play through bumps better, where you know, where you look at him, you know, things that he's going to be able to do it's going to make it different for him.
The thing that I read about him that gives me some pause, and he even addressed it in a story in the New York Post on Sunday, he doesn't have a good motor and he's not good defensively. Do you believe that both of those are true?
As in, he doesn't have a good motor in what way?
As if he's not playing hard all the time. He can't go for the full, however long he's on the court. I never saw any instance of that watching your games.
Yeah, I mean, and if it was, you probably would have heard it through the television screen. But I would tell you that the whole issue with this is he's 18. It's going to take him some time. Now, let me say this. I recruited Jason Tatum out of high school. Jason Tatum, the one question everybody had, would he be tough enough? Would he be aggressive enough? Even after his one season in college, they were saying the same thing.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I just saw him in the playoffs. He's tough. He can make plays. He's played through bumps. He's not afraid. But early in the year, you started questioning, wait a minute, I don't know, So I look at Kevin Knox and say, that's the plan. How quickly will he get facial hair? I don't know.
That was my next question.
He does, what's that?
So that was my next question. I was counting down to his facial hair.
So when he does that, this kid, if you ever really sat down with him, when I went through and I said to the guys, all right, I want you to, I texted everybody and I said, tell me where you see you have to get better. Tell me what you see. Within 5 minutes, Kevin Knox had 4 things he looks at that, and the best players can self-evaluate. I had guys that had, like, one sentence, or I got to run faster, or, I got to get, This kid knew, like, okay, I got to get this down now. I got to figure this out, and here are some areas. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but I called him and said, this is why you're going to be special someday. The best players that I've coached, one, are curious. They're smart kids. They're curious. How about Anthony Davis being one of the 3 candidates for MVP? How about that? I mean, here's another curious player that could evaluate where he needed to go and what he needed to do. And so, I'm just looking at this saying they're going to be happy. I mean, if everybody's pointed to other players that they could have taken, why did those players drop so much? If they should have gone to New York, why would they drop as much as they dropped? Did anybody ask that question?
Well, that being said, I want to ask you this, Coach, and it might not be fair. He wasn't your player. The New York fans at the draft wanted Michael Porter, who obviously had a back issue and a hip issue. If that guy's healthy, is he a number 1 or 2 pick in the first round, in your opinion?
No. The guys that went 1, 2, and 3 would have gone 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
No.
Did you like Porter healthy, though?
After that, but let me say this. If you know the Knicks organization, there was a reason they...
Oh, no.
I mean, unless you're just, hey, this is for funsies, this is fantasy basketball. No, it isn't. It is not. They did their homework. I mean, Steven, when they called me, Scotty and Steve, we were on the phone for 40 minutes, and they were grilling me. I mean, for everything. Like, again, here's what I did say. They said, all-star this and this, and I said, but let's say this. At the very least, every one of the kids that have been a lottery pick for me, it's 23 of them now, or 25, whatever it is, they've all made it. They've all got the second and third contracts. And the ones that haven't aren't eligible yet. So, at the very least, you're getting a heck of a player. I want him to be an all-star because one of the things, I'm coming to games now, Michael. You know I will.
Right.
And who am I sitting with?
Them. Mills and Perry.
No.
Michael K.
Who am I sitting with?
My
I'm
uncle.
sitting with Spike. Spike. I'll sit with your uncle,
You're not
too,
sitting
now.
with Spike.
Danny. Oh, what? I'll be feet on the wood right next to Spike Lee. You're out of your mind.
Better be.
We're going to count them up. You mentioned the game changing, John. Is it changing on the college level, too, where there's no positions?
Yes. Well, I've been talking 5 years about positionless. Now we have some other universities and coaches talking about they're teaching positionless. So I'm going to come up with another word. I don't know what it is, but I'll come up with something else because now everybody else is teaching positionless basketball. I just had Reed Travis just transferred to us for his senior year from Stanford. And I said to him, when they watch you, they're going to say, I've never seen him move like this. I've never seen him as active like this, and everything we're going to do is teaching you with the mindset you're a guard, even though you're going to bully people. You're going to still do the things you do, but as a guard. And the reason is undersized bullies aren't making it in the NBA now. You're just not getting it done. It ain't happening. You got to be able to move. You better be able to make some shots. There's some stuff you've got to be able to do now.
You know what? You could call it shape-shifting basketball. I'll give you that one, Cal. Shape-shifting.
Say it again?
Shape-shifting basketball.
Nah, Michael, your stuff never works. Never.
Well said.
All right, I got 2 quick questions to ask you before we let you go. If you watch you coach anywhere, your teams always get better from the beginning to the end. You're one of the great teachers in the game. But you recruit kids that are so good that they're one and done. In a perfect world, would you like to have guys for 4 years and see what you could do with them?
Have you gotten dumb as you got older?
Oh, my.
No, I've always been
yes,
dumb.
I would love to have guys for 4 years. Are you kidding me? But not at the expense of them or their families.
Right.
Like, there are kids that I've grabbed and I said, look, if you want to do what's right for you and your family, you put your name in that draft. Then I go, if you want to do what's right for me and my family, why don't you stay a little longer? And so, look, yeah, absolutely, I want to see guys longer. But the one-and-done rule is not my rule.
Nope.
It's the NBA and the Players Association. I just roll with these kids. And I know people, it's bad, ruined college basketball. Really? Really? I mean, we're doing things and helping kids. We graduated 17 kids. These kids all have lifetime scholarships. So if they want to come back, and 4 or 5 of them have already started coming back. So they can come back, and if they want to wait till they're done playing ball, do it then. And if you never want to come back because you made $500 million and you want to buy a university and get a degree from that university, that's okay too. But we're here for these kids.